hope everyone is doing well this evening. I wanted to come on and just introduce you guys to a new monthly subscription box. I'm not sure how many of you have heard of this, but it's a site that I found probably I would say 6 months ago. You know, you always get advertisements on social media and some of them are appetizing for you to click, and so this is one that I clicked on and I enjoyed what they were offering. And what it's called is BeadsVenture, and they offer a monthly subscription where you would get a set of beads. They used to offer two options where you could do just semi-precious stones, or you could do a box that just included charms. Recently I've only seen the semi-precious stone option, and that's what I chose originally anyway, because sometimes the charms were a little hit or miss and I didn't want to put anything to waste. So without further ado, I am going to open up the box that I received for this month of October, and then if I have time I will also show you what I got for the month of September. So let's go ahead and take a look. So each box includes this little sack, and the sack is what includes your beads. And then it also has in the box, I don't know if you can see, sometimes they give a couple of freebies. So in this box I got 3 freebies. So some looks like faceted beads in a white color was one of my freebies, and then some nautilus shell charms was another one of the freebies, and lastly another set of charms that were part of the freebies as well as part of my box. And then also what it comes with is a piece of paper that gives you basically a list of the name and the individual price for every strand that was in the box. So it's just a thank you for your purchase, and then gives you a list of each strand. One thing I really wish they would do is maybe put a label on the strand. You kind of have to guess if you're not familiar with what the semi-precious stones look like, or you have to look it up to be able to determine which is which. But I do like that they give you the insert that includes the type of semi-precious stones that are in your package. So if we open up our little drawstring bag and empty out, these are all full-size strands of beads, which is really nice, so you're not getting like a half a strand. So if I show you this strand, and I'm gonna look on my list to see if I can maybe figure out what it is. If you guys know, definitely please feel free to help me out. So it looks like this is probably the brown agate bead, and it gives you the country where it's from on the paper. So it looks like this is from India. And then we have a snow quartz. So I'm going to assume that this one is the snow quartz just because it is a white or clear color. And then we have the Dalmatian jasper, which is one of my favorite beads as well. I actually just started a pair of earrings that included a Dalmatian jasper with a couple of other texture beads on it. And then we have a lavender amethyst. So again, pretty lengthy size strands. I guess maybe about 11 inches, because I think my mat is about 8.5 by 11 inches. And then we have the rose quartz strand. And then we have there's a gray moonstone and a white howlite. I'm going to assume that this is the white howlite bead. And then this here is the gray moonstone chip bead is what I'm going to guess that this is. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 full-size strands of semi-precious stones. So I feel like that's a pretty good deal. And the box, I believe, is $34.99 a month is the subscription. And if you just look on the paper, the price of each strand alone is more than that $34.99 a month. So you definitely get your money's worth with the monthly box. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is just take a quick minute, and I'm just going to do a quick strung bracelet with one of the strands. I think I'm going to use the Howlite strand, and just quickly do a quick bracelet for you guys using the Howlite strand. And then if we have some time, we will go back and I'll go through the list of beads that I got in my September box as well. So give me one moment to get all my supplies together and I will be right back. Alrighty, I'm back with my short list of supplies. So I have the Soft Flex Company bead stringing wire in white to go along with my white beads. I have my bead strand, and then I have this bracelet connector, which actually makes your bracelet adjustable, which I really like. So then you don't have to worry a whole lot about sizing. It has this disc on the end that you can slide up and down to make the bracelet either tighter or looser. But I am going to make my bracelet 7 inches, which is kind of like the typical bracelet length for a woman. All right, so I'm going to just put my handy dandy bead stopper that we talked about in the last video so that my beads don't drop off. And I am going to cut my strand. And you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to use my freebie, these white beads that I got as part of my freebie, and just use them as spacers in between each of the the white Howlite beads. So I'm going to go ahead and dump those out. And we'll go ahead and get started stringing. So I'm going to put my smaller bead at the end. Do my Howlite, smaller bead, and then I'm just going to keep that pattern up moving forward. So how many of you guys have been getting like the Indian summer weather at the end of October? We here in Maryland have had upper 70s to 80-degree days within this past week. And guess what? Towards the middle of this week, it's going to drop to 50s, which is typical November weather. So I'm going to miss the warm days because I am not a cold weather person, even though I'm from this area where we have a number of season changes. I'm always a spring and early fall person where it's still like in the 60s and 70s. Definitely not into the late fall and winter. So we're just going to keep going until we get to about that 7-inch length. What have you guys been experiencing with the weather where you're from? I'm curious to know if you guys have had some, I guess, unseasonal weather in the different areas across the states. Similar to what we've been having in Maryland. So just let me know in the comments. So go ahead and keep stringing. And I know this is pretty boring, but I'll try to do it quickly. Alrighty, and we'll fast forward just a little bit to save you some boredom. Alrighty, so I'm at about 6 inches now, so I have to add a couple more beads, and then we'll go ahead and close off our bracelet. So let me just go ahead and add a couple more beads just to make sure we get to our 7-inch mark. And again, it probably wouldn't matter as much with the type of chain that I'm putting on it, but I still kind of want to just do like the average length of bracelet that females usually wear. All right, so let's see where that puts us. That should put us at about our 7 inches. Yep, I'm gonna do one more of the freebie faceted beads and then one more Howlite, and we should be good to go. Alrighty, so that should be good. Let's see. Yep, almost exactly 7 inches. So we're good. And just do this to finish the ends off equally. All right, so I'm gonna use the same thing we used last time we were doing our layered necklace. I'm gonna use some crimp beads. Again, you can also use crimp tubes. You can also use wire guardians in conjunction with crimp beads and crimp tubes. But since I'm just doing something really quickly, I'm just going to use the crimp bead to close off my bracelet. So again, just make a little loop at the end and push that through. So I have my little loop and I'm going to push my beads down to this end and move my bead stopper down some. And I want a tighter loop, so I'm going to keep pulling down and I'll stop it about right there. And so I'm going to crimp my end with my chain nose pliers. I'm going to make sure that my ends aren't crossed, but that they're right next to each other. So I have to fix that a little bit. There we go. I'm just going to give it a squeeze and then trim this off. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Get me a crimp bead. String it on. Make my loop. And then go back through the other side to secure that loop. And I want to put it as close as possible, but not too tight, because what happens is when it gets too tight, it makes your bracelet stiff, and so it doesn't move as smoothly or gracefully as you would like it to, or doesn't lay as smoothly or as gracefully as you would like it to. It can give kind of a tight look and feel if you don't give it some space. So I'm going to pull, and that should be about the same. And then again, I'm going to squeeze, and that goes ahead and closes off that end. And I'm going to trim off my extra. And I always keep my extra because you can always use it for something else later on. And then I'm going to take my bracelet end, and this has pretty much like a little jump ring on the end. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up, string my loop that I made on, close it up, and then same with this other side. And if I remember correctly, I think I may have gotten these from BeadsVenture also. If not, then I most certainly probably got it from Amazon. But I will double check and make sure that it's included in the description where I got the bracelet ends from. And so I can just put my bracelet on and then cinch it to secure. This one is a little big. Maybe I should have just made it 7.5 inches. But just, you know, to give you the idea of what you can do with the gemstones that you get in the BeadsVenture kit. Obviously, you can make earrings, you can make necklaces, and anything else that you would want to make. And so I like these because I'm kind of new to semi-precious stones, and it gives me a variety to look into and to try and be able to see what I like the most. Alrighty, so since we do have a little bit more time, I do want to show you the package that I got from September as well really quickly. So again, like I mentioned earlier, each one of the BeadsVenture boxes comes in this little box right here, and then in each one of the boxes is the bag that has the BeadsVenture on it, the drawstring bag. Again, it comes with the paper that has the list of beads that are in here, again with the price of each strand. And you'll notice that some of the beads may be the same as it was in the previous month. It might be the same stone, but maybe a different size. But each of the strands are typically the same length. It looks like they're all 16-inch strands. So again, let's empty out our little bag here and see what we got. So in this one, it looks like, again, we received the purple amethyst bead that we received in the last kit. Same size. Looks like we also got a gray howlite again, or white howlite again, but this is a larger bead, so it's not as small as the other bead. I think this is either an 8mm or 10mm. That's one thing that it actually doesn't tell you on the package, is the size of the bead. So this is good to have a variation in size. We also got the rose quartz again, but I think the previous, this may be like a 4mm bead. I believe the previous was either an 8 or a 10. So again, you get various sizes even though it's the same bead. Let's see what else we have. Looks like we also got the same gray moonstone that we received the last time. So we have another strand of that. So if you happen to like that, have an extra strand from September and October. We have what they call a yellow jade. So this is a pretty nice strand with like a mustard yellowish color. And then we got a this looks like the blue tiger's eye. So we have on our list blue tiger's eye. So I'm guessing that that is what this is. Again, unfortunately, there's no label on the bead to tell you exactly what it is. Like I said, you probably have to go and look it up if you're not 100% sure. And then we have a rainbow ammonite. And I believe this is the rainbow ammonite that was included in this package. And again, you get 7 full strands of beads. So just wanted to show you the variety you can get on a monthly basis. And again, with most subscription boxes, this one is a month to month. So you can cancel at any time with no issues. And so far, I pretty much enjoy it and I like it. I do use my beads a lot to do stretch bracelets and stretch bracelet stacks, but this would be perfect to make a whole set since you get such a long strand of beads. And I also quickly wanted to show you guys the earrings that I started on that I talked about earlier with the Dalmatian jasper. I just have to add the ear wire, but I love Dalmatian jasper, and I decided to do something fun, playing with color, with texture, along with the Dalmatian jasper. So these were the earrings that I actually put together earlier this week with the Dalmatian jasper. And I believe with these, I did get these from a BeadsVenture bead box earlier this year. But I look forward to hearing if you guys decide to do the subscription, and if you guys like it, let me know. Have a good evening and a good rest of the week. Signing off.